Meeting for March 4th, 2024. We have a quorum present. We will begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's do the approvals in a little while. And we'll start with the highway report.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Steve Berg with the highway. From last meeting, we have the obstruction that was in the right of way is gone. So we don't have to worry about that. We had the letter fired up, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Thanks for your help on that. And, yeah, the family got it taken care of.
Good news.
So, next item up, CDL Trading. Nathan Libbert, who is our new mechanic, he has gone on ahead and signed his promissory note agreement. And he has begun his training. And I believe as of Friday, he has passed his testing. He passed that test.
He passed the written test. He was gotta be behind the wheel and the driving portion, but he's passed the written test.
So that's one hurdle. And
Remind me again where they go for the testing, the actual drive,
Mitchell.
Mitchell? I didn't know if they still have that place or not.
so in the meantime, he'll be trained behind the wheel and do some backing and whatever's required during that testing phase. And I think it's anywhere from 20 to 40 hours of driving time and then saving. So
Nice.
all looking good. Next item, our spare grader number 402. It's a 2001 Volvo motor grader. It spun a rear bearing during our last snow response, causing the crankshaft to shatter. Extensive damage was caused to the block, which had just over 11,000 hours on it. Does still remain a necessary tool for us since it is used to help plow snow, and then also we have a shoulder widener on it that helps us during shoulder stone application of asphalt roads. So it is a important tool for us. We use it about 100 hours a year since it was replaced by our new road grader that we purchased in 2019. So what we do when one grader hits 10,000 hours, we'll kind of move it over to the spare and then sell the other old one. So we always have two spares on hand that are more heavily used for snow help and for shoulders like that. So we did locate a used engine which will fit in this grader. Costs of $4,500, and we're going to take a look at it this morning. We took a check along, make sure that everything is up to snuff, and if it is, then we'll bring it back. So that's the plan. We're going to put a used engine in there and make it work.
Sounds good.
Part-time mower position recommendation. I interviewed an applicant last week for the position of the mower operator. I've known him for quite some time as he previously worked for E&R Pipeline Group out of Celestine, where he retired. He's a hard-working, quality person, and I think he'll be an excellent fit for what we're looking for. I've got his application here. Clay Boone's from Jasper.
Can you tell me again what their week is gonna look like and when they begin?
He is going to start, April, I believe it's April 4th, is that? Or April
April 1st.
April 1st, okay, yeah, that's on that, it'll be on that Monday. And, he'll be running the roads of that new route that I had put together. And, that should,
How many hours a week?
37 and a half, what we're looking at right now.
So he's more seasonal than part-time.
Yeah, I call it part-time seasonal, yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, problems with that hire?
No.
Okay.
You can move forward with that.
All right, thank you, yes. Truck driver retiring, John Hammer was hired in August of 2020. He's a driver in District 3. He notified me of his plans to retire, and his last work day will be April 30th of this year. He's been a nice addition to our crew, as he's also served on the chip seal crew for the last couple of years. Just been had a pleasant attitude, a good work ethic, and he was very valued in the district that he's working in. He was one of the glue guys that, got everybody just working really well together. So he'll be missed. I think he's also a volunteer fireman. I think he's also got a shop that he works on vehicles and stuff. So be heading off into the sunset. He'll be missed, and we'll do some work to come up with his replacement. And the final thing, I had a representative come in from Shoe Sensation. He was talking about an idea where if the county, and I know we don't pay for a stipend or anything like that, but I think that might be if DuBois County put our logo on here and somebody was going in to get a work shoe or a work boot, and we signed off on that and it had the county logo on it, I think they would be able to save 10%. It's no cost to the county. We've got nothing invested in the thing outside of the fact that we're just authorizing them to give our employee 10% discount on personal shoes or shoes or whatever. And I don't know if this is ethically right. To me, it sounds like a pretty good deal, but think if you all have a problem with it, Rick, I don't know. Okay.
Do all your guys have badges?
Yeah.
Are they just wanting to offer a discount, like an employee discount, basically?
10%, right?
10%, yeah.
I don't know what the letter says or anything else, but I would steer them to the direction of that if somebody comes in with a county ID, that they can offer them a discount on their own accord without any relationship with us. The same as Home Depot gives veterans benefits to folks, and, you know, there's phone companies that do the same thing without our participation in it. I guess if they'd be like, here's my badge, I am who I say I am, if you wanna give it to me, give it to me. This is my thought or preference.
Columbia does that, but their outlets, they send it, you send them out
I
here.
don't know that we need to necessarily sign off on anything saying, I mean, they have a badge, if they wanna give an employee discount, that's their prerogative.
Mhm.
And it has nothing then to do with us.
The one thing that they're trying to point out here is if you're a tax exempt company, they'll,
Yeah, and I think,
You can't purchase tax exempt or personal nature, though.
correct, because we're not paying for the shoes.
No.
So, that they'll still have.
it's just a sales gimmick.
It is, yeah.
Marketing thing, right? It's nice enough, I guess, but.
If they want to extend that to anyone with a government ID, company as an employee discount, then I'd lean that way.
What do you two think?
I think they read it correctly.
Me too, I think.
There's no tax savings to a personal person.
No, it was just, they're wanting to, expand their business base, and I get it. I think 10%, would help our lives as well.
Pair of boots be $150.
Good there.
Just maybe like to look at it too, just to see if there's any harm in signing it, or if there does any.
Yeah, if there's no harm in signing it, I'm not opposed to it, just, I'd rather it be employee ID and keep it simple for
And
everybody.
I think it can be just that simple.
Perfect.
Did you get the renewal agreement for them to change?
Then we're not signing it.
He did.
We need to.
Yeah.
If they want to extend that as a courtesy period, it builds their business.
Okay.
So,
Okay, here.
Yeah, you probably get that from Steve. Either, what was that person's name? Was it Bradley Boone? For
I
the
didn't catch the name. What do you want
Clay.
to-
Clay Boone?
Like,
Outside of that, that's all it's running.
All right, thank you, sir.
You can make a motion. I didn't hear
I
a
guess
motion.
they go ahead, we didn't have any. Just makes sense.
Short, sweet. Hopefully.
which I don't think we're gonna do, because we're not paying.
Okay, so Safe Streets, there's really nothing to report right now. We've kind of up to date on everything that is going on as e-commerce. So it reminds me to keep an update if something does change. So, my big thing today is on County Road 900 East, north of State Road 56, so east of Du Bois Crossroads, northeast corner of the county, way up there. We are going to take some twin culverts that are under 900 East and replace them with one big aluminum box culvert. So I requested quotes on February 22nd and stated that they need to be back at noon on the 28th. I received 3. So from CivilCon, in the amount of $42,609.30. Civil Supply was $43,537.90. And then E3 Bridge was $39,777.60. But E3 Bridge was turned in late. I requested they turn into noon. It came in at 12:20. So with that being said, I do recommend going with CivilCon due to the fact that E3 bridge was late. That is my recommendation, but it's over the $25,000 threshold, so I need your approval before I purchase.
So, Mr. Schneier, that timing situation is put in there for the county's benefit, correct? I mean,
When you refer to the timing as in when the quotes were due?
yes.
Yes. So that's what they, I was talking about the lowest responsible and responsive quoter, right? So if you missed the deadline to turn your quote in, then it wasn't responsive.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at, before we have a discussion on it, could we award it to the lowest bidder anyway? If we wanted to. I mean, they turned it in 20 minutes late, so could we? Or do you think that's a bad idea?
I think that's about it.
We could, but we could possibly,
It's not because I like spending the kid more of the county's money.
Yes.
because it would disenfranchise the other.
That's correct. It's a bad idea.
That precedent's set.
Mr. Hofstadter, you agree with the, what do you agree? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was room for the little bit that was on time.
I agree. Go with that bridge recommendation.
Is there any problem with E3? Are they good otherwise?
They're not the easiest to work with, they're not the most responsive as far as getting material back. We have bought a few pipes from them and it takes, their turnaround time is much longer than our other suppliers. So, they have said it was one in the past, but it takes them longer to get the culverts in.
Turning things later, they're gonna do things later.
Do they, so was it emailed to you or how?
They already emailed to me, correct?
Do they have a different time zone than we are?
At the same time zone.
Okay, well, I'll move, I just want to give everybody every benefit,
Yep.
you know, the doubt.
Yep.
that we can. I'll move that we approve awarding the quote to Civil Con in the amount of $42,609.30.
Second.
Any other discussion?
No.
Is there any, before we vote, is there any reason what is your reason for, the aluminum box culvert is less common than?
Correct, it is. Okay, so the reason for it, I can give you a little background. Usually we build our concrete box culverts. This road here is not a dead-end road, but the detour to get around it, we're talking several miles, like maybe 10 miles, to get up into Martin County, drive rock roads, to turn around and get back into Du Bois County. It would be a severe inconvenience. It takes us roughly 4 weeks to build these, to build the concrete box culverts. This case here, my goal is to have my bridge crew build it off to the side of the road. Then we will cut, remove, and put in place, hopefully within a day, maybe 2 days. It's just the closure time. That's my reasoning for it.
And is it much more expensive to do the aluminum?
Right now, we're building our concrete box culverts between the 28 to 40 range, depending on the length. So it's not a whole lot more expensive to go with this, but it is more expensive to go with this. But just the detour, the inconvenience to the residents up there, in my opinion, outweighs going with a concrete box culvert.
I just didn't know if aluminum was better every time.
Not every time, no.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
And that's all I got unless you got from me. So light source, there's nothing there. I had it on there because they were going to try to get us an updated road use agreement.
I had a phone conversation with them. They had made the changes that I had requested. Their plan is to come on the 18th.
Okay.
So I believe and I don't recall if they sent us the final version of it then last week or not. Then I'll check, and if so, I'll forward that on to you guys. But again, we worked with them.
They're coming on the next meeting.
That would be, yeah. I also think Duff is coming in the next meeting too with their decommissioning agreement. I'll try that later.
I don't have any other one here yet.
All right, we have the claims against the county from the last period.
So you're done with me.
Yes, sir. I thought you were done. I thought you were going to have a sidebar.
And Duff coming?
I'll move that we
Thanks,
approve. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Brett.
And the minutes already, you guess you had them? Okay, so, any changes for the minutes? I'll move that we approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And then we had the payroll. I'll move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Brett, I'm sorry, I didn't intend to be rude.
I was just harassing you, is all I was doing. I didn't mean anything by it, I was just harassing you.
I guess I'll sit down now. Oh, man, that's good. Did you look at this from everything else was this weekend? I don't know if you really wanted to discuss that or just let it sit for now.
How often do we hold other counties?
Never. No, I mean, we don't now.
We've never had capacity to do it before.
You mean the jail? We haven't done it in a long time.
Okay.
So one thing back in 2017, when we were touring places, I believe like Perry County, they were making a lot of money from taking Vanderburgh County's overflow and taking other counties. So the theory being with the same staff, we can watch 20 more people. It doesn't cause us that much more work and we can make the additional revenue. And then the responsibility to bring them to, in that case, Perry County and to pick them up for court, to do all that was all in Vanderburgh County or whichever county was the depositing county.
Usually think we have federal, and not federal state, that's been a long time ago.
Right, and that's another thing. The state, if you held a state or federal prisoner, they pay you some for that too. That's different than that, I think.
It's been when I first started here.
So maybe it's just a new thing to think about, but I'll bring it up in case somebody wanted to talk about it today.
What did you bring up?
We had something emailed to us about inmates in the new jail when it was finished. Okay, so nothing for that. Okay. And our next thing is Copper Creek. We're waiting for Mr. Beeler to show up.
I want to check the bill.
All right, Health Department has some surplus phones here. We'll do that. Got a whole bag full of Android phones, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we're not, from what we're told, they were bought with grant dollars, so we can't sell them for a profit, I guess, without it the money going back to the granting agency, but we could probably give them to an organization, such as Crisis Connection or somebody else if they need it. So anybody have any thoughts on just dispose of, declare them surplus, try to find an organization that can use them?
It's good. They've been, reset.
So, okay, I'll move that we declare the health department funds, as surplus to be given to a local organization that you use.
So,
Any other discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And WTH electronic data agreement. Attached is a copy of the electronic map application from CoreLogic requesting our GIS data. Please add this application to the next commissioners meeting for consideration of approval. When we execute it, then at that point, CoreLogic will send us a check for $250 to say thank you for the use. So of course, our GIS information, most of it is public and you can access it online, but I think this is an advanced data. We do this for companies usually. This is within our agreements, so anybody have any problem with doing that?
No.
I've always thought it's public data anyway, public's paying for it, they want, if the company wants to pay to use it additionally, it's fine with me. So Cindy says that they, on the cover letter, it said $250 will be sent. And then on the agreement, it says a total fee of $750.
I think WTH gets some of it.
Okay, WTH is the one
I
that
think they're doing the work.
gives them the access, I mean, they do the work.
They do work. And you put it in on that.
All right, I'll move that we approve.
second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Here's the rest of it. Mr. Wheeler, whenever you're prepared.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bill Bueller with Grossman Land Surveying and Engineering, here on behalf of Copper Creek LLC. Copper Creek.
There's another copy of this.
That's a copy. This is the inked version of that. So we were here, I've been here a number of times for the whole parcelization thing where the person who is intended to be the initial recipient of the parcelization, in this case, this would be, so this is over on Club Road, 650 South. Copper Creek owns 25.7 acres, so they qualify for a parcelization. They want to do a parcelization transferring to John Epple. John Epple, his intent, as is outlined on the application form, is to eventually transfer this tract to his daughter, but he didn't want to transfer it directly from his daughter from Copper Creek. So we're taking the intermediate step of him acquiring the land with the intent of selling it then to his daughter. So
Is there any intent to circumvent any other rule by doing it this way?
No. In the end, the intent is for his daughter to be able to build on that piece of property. He just,
It's a private lane.
650 South Dead Ends. Right, there's an easement across the north line of Cotton Creek to get to it. So, no, there would be no circumvent. He may, you'll notice that track is pretty long and narrow. I think in the future, he may need to transfer a little bit more land because the John owns to the west. But he would be allowed to do that, or that his daughter would be allowed to acquire additional land. That's the adjoining landowner at that point. So,
I reviewed it, I went over it with Brent, and I'm satisfied with it. Two of you have any questions or comments, concerns?
No, fine with me.
Brent, anything you want to add?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I'll move that we approve the parcelization subdivision exemption that's been requested today.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. You too.
You charge mileage.
So I'll just-
So I just, they approved,
Yes.
and then this is what they,
This just, this goes blank, based on yours or something.
gotcha.
Yeah, if you just give that to Sheila.
I will
Yeah.
I will do that.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody feel we have any reason to wait to talk with Mr. Wilson, or just have him proceed 15 minutes early?
I think we should go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that's all.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were Phil.
I don't know, but it's
Look up.
taller, it's
I
slightly
know
more,
when I was in
better
the
looking.
world.
Give a much nicer beard.
Look up, Sandy.
Perfect.
I was still on Phil's stuff.
I was hopeful to have two things to talk about this morning. I do not have anything to discuss for 911 hire. We don't have any progress. It's a work in progress.
Oh, I was hoping you-
I thought we would have an answer from someone that we made an informal conditional offer to last week, and I have not heard back. So maybe next time we'll have somebody, but we're looking at probably leaving the positions open until I would expect May or June. We had a lot of, we had a record number of applicants, which I think a lot of the other county offices and talking with other department heads are seeing the same. And I would say our quality was questionable. We did get, I think, 10 pretty fair ones, and of course we're working our way through them. But nothing, no good news just yet. I have a proposed contract for services for PSC to discuss. I have not heard back from them. I sent it to Greg, and he was super speedy and had some revisions for me Friday morning, late morning, and I forwarded those to PSC for them to give their blessing on the approval, and I didn't hear back from them. So what I would ask the commissioners for this morning is the approval of the contract for services for internet through PSC as it's written. And if there are any changes after they have a chance to review it, then I would just come back to you in 2 weeks. But I'm trying to save a 2-week delay in having them do some work that establishes internet in the new 911 center workspace. The contract is more monthly than what we're currently paying, but we're going to restructure our entire 911 related internet that should ultimately result in the savings of hundreds of dollars per month in monthly billing forever. We currently pay the state of Indiana, Indiana Office of Technology, $442 a month to manage one of our data connections, and that bill will go away under this new structure that Ecmundy has devised a plan for. Ecmundy does that same structure to local 911 centers, Tell City PD and Pike County. It's effective, it's approved by the state, and it saves us hundreds of dollars a month. In return, we have to increase our data speed, so say it's not exactly saving 440, it's probably closer to saving 300. And then at some point, hopefully we'll be able to partner up with the sheriff's office and acquire their data for their live scan fingerprinting machine, which they also pay a monthly fee for. And we can join those services because they have the same requirements. And then one of us is going to save the bill, and it's probably going to be the sheriff. But it's all general fund tax dollars, so the savings is the savings to the county. I'm happy about it, but it does require us to have this increased data speed. Business internet is very expensive. Please don't try to make a comparison to your home internet. It's not the same. So when you see $399 a month for services, I balked at it too. But it's different. It has more reliability. It's fee-free when we call them and we need help. And it also essentially provides 14 separate lines of internet. That's layman's terms to way to look at it. We did 14 separate IP addresses to accomplish the work that we need to do. So if you can picture 14 lines coming into your house, that's the service that we're giving, and hence the costs. So they did initially request $3,000 in construction costs, which I was kind of taken aback by. They posed that if we sign a 36-month contract, the construction cost would be $500, which I think is probably more likely to be what the actual material cost is for work that they would need to accomplish.
I reviewed the original, I reviewed Mr. Schneer's changes, seemed in order to me. I'm satisfied to give approval to Mr. Wilson to sign the agreement, as long as the other party agrees to consent.
My comment, I guess, on the changes, because there wasn't any language about the term of it, 36 months, and what happens when it was done, I made something up. I don't know if that's the normal business industry standard. Again, it's 36 months, whatever they want to renew out after that, they'll probably want to renegotiate, so.
I think when our current location where we're at, there was a contract at one time when they did that work. I would imagine the save construction cost, and then there was just no action taken by either party, and it just kind of ran out, and the bill has stayed the same.
Right, so that's why I put that way. They may have some pushback on that or different terms, and I guess, I don't know that that'd be a deal breaker. So,
We'll just have to see what they come back with, but I just have a feeling that they'll give the approval on it. One of it is very apparent, Greg's language about the confidentiality part and the way that we have to.
Yeah.
I'd say you just let us know if they want to change anything.
Yeah, I just don't want to hold us up
We'll
because,
approve it here.
there's going to be things that are going to derail our construction. This is step one. We have to get internet into that workspace for a lot of people to do things. If we don't have this, it's going to push the entire move back. And I know Sean at the health department wants us out. So,
Ain't
bad.
up to Sean, is it?
Feel his foot on my
He's
back.
always wanted it, he's just been more vocal.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
And progress is going well on the hill. It's coming together. I guess it's still never as fast as you want it, but it's.
April 2nd is our tentative date to start for construction to be complete. That's a punch list week. I still have some level of skepticism about that day too, and looking at it, there's a lot of work to be done. I'm gonna stop here this morning. There's a lot of electrical things happening right now, so.
They were working in your room on Friday.
Yeah, they were Wednesday, they were hard at work. Progress, we'll see. We're not yet planning and scheduling weeks for people to be in there upfitting, because I can't schedule people and then say, oh, you can't come here this week. Because then when they reschedule, it would be 4 weeks or 6 weeks down the road. I'm really strongly gonna work towards, it won't be June 1st because that's a weekend, but like June 3rd would probably be a go live date as things stand today. So that will give us, I think, about 6 weeks of upfitting time. And hopefully that's what we're working for right now. Subject to change.
I know everyone knows it, but that's one of the nice things about where we are. You've got an existing place, EMA has it, it's not like somebody's being held up.
I just want to get it over with.
Right.
There's really no, operationally, there are very few times that it will be incredibly beneficial for us to be in the new space. One of them is next month for the eclipse. I wish we had our space. I wish we had our extra positions because we could have more people in there working and doing more work, but we physically don't have the space where we're at. So, severe weather season is another time. I wish we were in there for the more secure environment and the bigger workspace, but it's not here. So we'll be okay. We've been in that building where we're at for 22 years. We can be in there for another 3 months.
Okay, so did you make a motion to approve this contract? I don't know that we did. I'll move that we approve the contract if it's accepted from PSC as written.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
As an update on the project, it is every time I go up, it's moving forward, so we're always getting little, it seems like daily, we're getting little things that
So I do.
his door to go into his office, they didn't design it with a door pull on it. They had it designed as an exit only, so the main door that's supposed to be an entrance for
So
him,
who will sign it for us?
and then we say, well, we need a door pull. And then they give us
Who's
an
gonna-
option.
Who's gonna sign this contract for us when we get it back from them?
I think since we approved it, Mr.
We'll let
Wilson
him
can
do it?
sign it as long as he can just confirm with us that nothing has changed on it.
I'll put that.
So just little things like that. I mean, that's a little thing.
Yeah.
Then they give us a design for a $700 door pull. We'll take a $200 door pull. So, another one, we had
That works for me.
a sprinkler system issue that, I don't know, you get into all the details, but we fixed a bunch of heads and changed a bunch of heads and stuff that was overlooked. And finally, roofing. We're looking to do a spray coat on the roof. If you paid attention, it's kind of black. It's supposed to be a white roof, you know, and so that's gonna be, there's some leaks.
I thought that stuff was put on there, supposed to seal it for 30 years.
10 years.
Then
There's a 10-year guarantee.
Okay,
Yeah, 10-year warranty, we're on year 11. But it's been, the nice thing about it is it has been leaking periodically here and there over the time. And every time it does, they come up and they repair it. But it's a large roof with a lot of crimps and a lot of
Yeah.
weird angles and things, so I think we,
And we did buy 11 more years out of it with that spray coating, so I guess that was a good purchase.
and the
Like a year though. Really?
well, the other bad thing is since we're having small leaks, we don't want to put the drop ceiling in and then you ruin your
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
Well, you can't put the spray coating on now. You have to wait till it's warmer, consistently warmer, the humidity's right. So one of the issues is I think some of the offices where there's little leaks that drip from wherever, we will put the ceiling tiles in, so it won't be 100% complete. So we probably get it. Just it is what it is, right? I was hoping we'd go in and he'd say, oh, I can do it anytime and we can do it next week or.
But it's warm outside now, the sun's shining.
So they,
What they tell
I think
us,
they spent, I think he said they spent 2 weeks prepping the thing, like, you know, spraying it out, power washing it, getting everything done, and then they spent another week putting the roof on it. But I think it's definitely necessary. But anyway, there's little stuff going on, we're taking care of it.
Do you have
Mr.
anything
Chair.
else discussion on your list?
I don't believe I do for
Is it the
myself.
jail's roof or is it the community corrections roof?
The jail, the security center. Mr. Schneider, do you have something?
I was gonna report that, and Light Source was gonna come on the 18th for their road use agreement. And I believe that also the Duff Solar Park is hoping to attend that day for their permit application and decommissioning agreement. I went through all of our notes with them, and I'm amending the attachment A to include a few more things on the decommissioning aspect of it. So that's both of their plans, and that's our second March meeting. And Sandy, I'll just figure out what time you've got available and share them if they want to go back to back or.
Doesn't matter to me.
Right.
Does EDP, did they, I know that they were in line before we had an application. Did they fill out an application for us though?
They are filling one out, EDP being done.
Yes.
Yes. So I gave them the permit form. This is the one we talked about at our last February meeting, that they were going to do a condensed bird's eye view of everything as opposed to every single acreage. Because then the permit would be, I'm using my hand gestures for the benefit of the internet here. You can't see me, but anyways, it'd be extremely voluminous. So they were gonna condense that down with some assurances that, again, they're following code. So they are going to do a permit. They originally were going to do a memorandum of understanding where you basically gave the consent for them to proceed. They're going the permit route instead now.
So that document that shows where their footprint is,
Yes,
that's the one you said if they give us that would be the large map.
correct.
If they gave us.
Something comparable to that, yes, is what.
But if they gave us something similar to what they had in the preliminary, I'd like to have that.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about? They don't want to do that?
You mean map or?
Yes, there was a map that fit on a.
There'll be a map, yes, there'll be some images for it. When I'm talking about their preliminary offering, that was just us giving them the green light to go forward, because we did not have a permit at the time. They're dispensing with that written document itself, but the attachments will probably still be a part of the permit application. If I'm following. Okay.
Yes. Anything else?
No, sir.
Anything on the JRAC?
I do not have I did not hear back from the individual, so I will call that office today. Again.
Anything from the auditor?
You didn't know. Oh, the only thing I do want to bring up, with the sewer district, we're gonna have to appoint members since it's formed now,
And our
appointments to.
appointments are what school districts?
And then one of you is gonna have to serve as well.
So, also, we wouldn't even, the person that I sent to you would be in Northeast.
And we need somebody also that's outside of the city of Jasper, is that correct?
Correct.
Or is it okay if they're in
It's
the,
outside the city of Jasper. It's outside of municipality.
Because if the current sewer districts want to have a representative on there, they'd be a non-voting member.
Correct.
So are you working on getting the board put together, or you need
if
something
you
from us?
guys, if you guys can come up with some names, I don't,
I sent you the one with, and I think I gave his phone number and things.
The council probably has their people.
they do. Yeah, they have,
Do you know who I'm talking about? Did you get
no,
it?
I don't think I got
Just so
it.
your face was saying like, I don't remember getting it.
I don't remember getting it. I went through my emails again this morning too, and I didn't see it, so.
I couldn't write his name and number.
I think, what about people out of the Ireland Conservative District? I don't remember. If they have-
They might count, they may not count, I mean, that may be okay. I was thinking we had it in our thing, it's outside the municipality
Right.
jurisdiction. So it could be inferred in town limits or Jasper city limits.
Did you find the name and number, Ted? Is that what you're looking at?
No, yeah, I just forwarded it to him.
Oh, because I have to write it down. Make sure you got it on one of your two phones.
Steve was,
Is that yours?
It's just now that the district's going, we need to get our appointments in.
We need to do it quickly. I mean,
I think the council's gonna do it this month.
Try to have it done this week.
So the guy I sent you, he's gonna be in Northeast, and if they've already got the Northeast, but there may not be a spot for him, you know, unless he wants to just be a non-voting member or something, if that's whatever you said was available.
Is it in the district somewhere? If each of the sanitary districts can have, that holds an agreement with the treatment of sewage, can have a member that's non-voting.
Non-voting member, yeah.
And he,
So that would be like,
you probably need to tote the water. You're saying whichever person gets water from one of these
One
places?
representative
Well,
from each of the
but-
sanitary district that holds an agreement for the treatment of sewage.
there won't be an agreement with them yet. The only agreement will be with the city of Jasper
So Jasper could have a non-voting member.
in the beginning. So as,
But you can have up to 5 non-voting members. And he's one of them.
so as the district grows, if we have an agreement with Du Bois Water or Huntingburg, they can add non-voting board members.
At this point, I don't I think it'd be difficult to find one from Southeast that's gonna care to wanna be a part of it. Unless you could get,
Well, I thought I would probably contact somebody over there. Have some suggestions.
you probably reach out to Tom Thacker. If he doesn't wanna do it.
So east is for,
Oh, that's further, I'm thinking of Southwest, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Kent's card. might be a-
Yeah, he can give you a guy, give you some.
But they need to be outside the town for.
Right, but he might be able to say, I know somebody.
but it's not,
I gotta.
Well, it's his
feel his
area
house
where he
and
lives.
then-
that's his area.
It's Jackson, Jefferson, Ferdinand.
Or if you know anybody that lives over there.
I don't
might
right
be
now.
interested.
I think on that one.
Shoot me a
It's just it's coming up.
right.
Keep it on the radar.
Any other updates on that? Did you see it, son?
I want to get your opinions on closing April 8th, the eclipse. How do you feel about that? The county offices.
My opinion is stay open either. And, cause we have generous PTO, so if people need to have off, they can take off.
I agree.
Okay.
Because, it would potentially interfere with court things, with voting things.
Well,
Voting
that's
is
gonna
right.
close. I'll just tell you they're all-
I consider it closed, that seems to be the consensus, yeah, with that.
So if like say my whole office wants off,
We can,
so somebody's gotta sit in the courtroom then.
they should, I mean, we're not closing the building, we set the hours of operation for the county.
And
You disagree?
Well, I'm just saying if, yeah, I mean, if my whole office wants PTO time, then I'm stuck in there.
No, I mean, but you decide who gets it, just like it would be around Christmas or,
I'm not gonna do that.
but I mean, it's always a decision of the department head, if people want off, some people get off, some people don't.
I don't think anybody's gonna be coming in for business, but.
Right. This was brought up in the department head meeting, they were talking about, you know, the extra people in town and things like that. And to the judges, they strongly suggested closing the office. So,
Well, I know everybody wants to go outside and look at it, so.
right. You know, the idea is to close offices is to get everybody to stay home and not out on the streets, and that's the other side of it. Yes.
I agree with that statement. And there is stuff that, I mean, there are departments that we have that are gonna have to work. It's a payroll week, we're gonna be working. I was just saying for other departments,
And we talked about the payroll side. I talked to
payroll is due that day, and if department heads are off, they gotta get their payroll in that day.
I'd be able to stay open vote if we were gonna talk about it.
I agree. I think it's-
As long as, when we are working in there, we can come outside and look. Cause it's gonna happen.
I don't think I have a problem with that. Or
The
have
department head will run their office
I mean, it's gonna be a total of, what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes?
of total, but it's gonna be happening for hours.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'll start getting dark at 1. So I don't think anybody's gonna sit out there and watch every second of it.
Right.
Kevin, do you have your, I survived the eclipse shirt?
We're right in the middle of Knox County. And I'm on the Park and Rec board, so I kind of know a little bit about it. They're expecting close to 200,000 people in Knox County.
Okay, I will mention that I went to Clarksville, Tennessee. We had some family live down there. And,
There's a
it's
zoo.
about a 3-hour drive. It took 6 hours to get home. Because we
Don't be
sat
on the roads
on the
afterwards. interstate, don't be on the roads, just stay put.
just dead set for hours.
You're talking about the one from 2017?
Yep.
17, yeah. It was a zoo.
We got back on the interstate, oh, we were just gonna drive home, and it was just a gridlock.
Yeah.
So,
But Knox County, we're right over my farm. It's supposed to be the absolute longest 2 seconds.
Gonna be like Woodstock.
by the way, he also has camping available for $50.
Yeah, $50. And that's what I'm gonna do with my company. I'm gonna shoot them an email. I'm just coming because we own a lot, you know, and I just worry about rain. You know, I don't want people running up my 5-acre yard. you know, if it rains, so I'm not gonna let them do that, but they were going to my farm shop with the grain bins and set up a camper, I don't give a shit, let them roll, you know.
Would it be a compromise to let everybody go home and lunch?
You're there.
Is if you close down, we got people who've already taken PTO time. According to the handbook, they gotta use that PTO time if it's already in progress. It's kind of like an inclement weather day. I mean, and then you've got, like I said, then you've got department heads. Well,
This would be applied for before.
if you've already got a PTO scheduled and you
Yeah.
guys close something like an inclement weather day, that PTO day stands. You still have to take your PTO day. Because we get all kind of phone calls and that's what the handbook says. We go on the handbook. So then you got people who, I had to work and I want my extra 2 hours off or whatever off, and we get all kinds of phone calls like that. So I'm just kind of, if you're gonna close, make preparations of what you're gonna do for the people who do have to work, what are you gonna do for, because it's more than just saying, let's close the door.
It complicates things closing.
I would really prefer not to.
It's time to stay open.
I feel like if people want to take it off and use their PTO, go for it.
If 80% of the staff wants to take the day off, then that's,
And I don't see us being busy that day.
but if it's gonna be crazy, I mean, the government services too.
But we will have government, I mean, these guys are probably working, are not, our 24/7 facilities have to work, EMA's working. Like I said, we got payroll that we gotta work, so.
Just like Tom said at the department head meeting, you don't think about this.
Yeah, how do you compensate them?
I'm not even sure what work's doing. I assume that I'll be there.
I mean,
But I know-
schools are closing.
Like I took
Schools
a
are
PTO for
closing,
half a day.
a lot of
That's
other
what I'm
counties are
like.
closing,
I might do.
but they've been,
Yeah, that's what I'm.
But I would,
Half a day. Has anybody else come and said anything to you, Steve, as far as, no?
the only other thing you could do is, if you wanna close, say you have to use PTO to be off. Take paid.
that's what we're doing. But we're not closing.
Right.
Okay.
Because then it's people's choice whether they wanna be off or not.
Right, yeah, I was just it.
Any public comment? Sherry?
Yeah, I'm that.
Get the close.
It just gets way more complicated than people realize.
It's less complicated if we're less than PTO day.
Right, but like I said, then it makes, it's not like I don't go outside in the yard and watch. I mean,
You can be the bad guy if everybody wants off and two people can't. I understand that.
I already got two.
I need to put my day in, but I plan on taking it Tuesday. I just see it. I don't know if that family is, you know.
On that email I sent, that was actually. You said, hey, then call
We talked about that.
This is
Meeting for each time.